What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is producer Wulf Morpheus. We spoke about all things anime, our old and new favorites, the impact of Toonami, anime's growing presence in pop culture, and its mix with hip-hop culture. The movie Max Keeble's Big Move, Disney Adventure Magazine, Cartoon Network, the lo-fi aesthetic, being inspired by every form of rap music, why Knowledge is a goated producer, his placements of Chuck Strangers and Mavi, and his general creative approach to making beats. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to Real Notes. It's starting to get colder, and it actually feels like fall. I don't really feel super spooky. I guess I kind of feel sort of spooky because my arm hurts. I feel like I got I got assaulted by Freddy Krueger with the fucking needle hands in
For sure.
Friday the 13th part. What part was that? I think it was 3. The one where like the drug addict has the man. Let me not say it like that. The person who's going through a drug problem is having has a nightmare that like Freddy has like a needle fingers and he like injects
Oh
them.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
that shit was
yeah.
crazy. I kind of feel like my
Yeah,
arm is kind of killing me right now. But
for sure.
we here, everything's good. Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit, running around. Things are cooling down, thankfully. And this one's been coming for a while. We've been talking for a little bit, and
For
I'm
sure.
happy. I'm happy to finally have bro over here. This guy's a fucking producer and anime fan extraordinaire. Like I don't
For
even know what else
sure.
to say about you, but we got Wulf Morpheus here, man. Like
Yeah. I
what's
mean, that's all you got to say, really. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you for being here. Thank you for being interested in coming on here at all. This predates everything you've had going on. Like you
oh
just
yeah, for
got four.
sure.
Yeah, like you just got
Yeah,
four
yeah.
placements
I've
on the
been
Mavi
tapped
album.
in.
Like, yeah, man, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Like that really means so much. And like,
No,
and
you
I've
you
been a
doing
fan.
your thing for real. Like I seen the Chuck Strangers one, the navy blue one, and all that. Like the Flying Lotus one. Like I've been tapped in, like even before. You know what I mean? So
Thank you,
you most
man.
definitely making your wave in this.
I'm doing what I can. And you're like, I appreciate that because I'm such a fan of what you do too. Like,
I
like I just
appreciate that too, most
come
definitely.
on.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on, man.
crazy.
Yeah, nah. And yeah, like also like because it needs to be said, like congrats on the Mavi placements, like the fucking 4 beats you got on there. Like,
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Jesus.
thank you. Yeah, I was holding on to that for a minute too. I was waiting.
Bro,
Yeah,
we're gonna get into all of that shit. But the very first thing, I'm gonna ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here.
I'm
The
already
first
knowing.
the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about. I think I know the answer, but
Well, all right. Well, probably like Mob Psycho, and I like it a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's top. Might be like my top three of this generation for real. If I'm being honest, like I like it that
wow.
much. Yeah, yeah.
So what would
Like
the
for real.
what would the other two be?
Like for this generation,
Yeah,
like
I gotta
Attack on
know now.
Titan is going in
Okay.
there for sure, for sure. And the last one, it's a lot of pressure. Honestly, like I guess off rip, my mind went like Jujutsu Kaisen because I
Hmm.
really rock with that. Like it's really good. So I'll probably
Yeah.
say that. Yeah, those three right now keep me entertained.
That's fire. I'm fucking yeah, yeah. No, I've been fucking with Jujutsu Kaisen for a little while. I feel so stupid though because I've been like I'm almost done with the first season, but I've been watching it in like such tiny increments. I'll like watch like 3 episodes. No, no, no. I'll watch like 4 or 5 episodes at a time and then get like lost for a month and then come back and watch more. I really, really like the show. I just like haven't, like I haven't
Yeah, for sure.
I just haven't had the time to like sit and watch the whole thing. But like I was the last thing I remember seeing, or at least like connecting with me from Jujutsu Kaisen was when like you learn about Panda and like what his whole deal
Oh
is and
yeah,
like
yeah,
and
that tripped me out.
oh shit, just like him
He's not even
fighting
a panda.
right, yeah, it's like in like him
Like,
fighting the him fighting the dude who's controlling the robot and finding out that like Panda has like a brother and sister and he can like channel them
yeah,
like and just he's great, man. I love
yeah,
Panda.
no, it's yeah. I like that show in general. It's interesting. It's like I feel like what they're doing right now with anime. It seems like they're just taking like the classic approach of it and just revamping it. You know what I mean? Because if you look at
Yeah.
it, it almost seemed like Naruto, you know what I mean? Or like as far as the way they even have the characters and like, you know what I mean? Like the kind of like build, I guess, or you could say Bleach kind of stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it seems like they're just like modeling things after that. Like even you could say the same with like Demon Slayer, you know what I mean?
definitely. Oh, absolutely.
For
And
sure.
like
Like,
I would. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're good.
I it's weird because like I definitely see what you're saying, and like I saw that myself. But like the first thing I thought was like Jujutsu Kaisen reminds me a lot of Full Metal Alchemist too. Like it
Mm,
might just be the magic thing. I don't know, but like
yeah,
that was the first place my brain went. I was like, because
that's interesting.
bro was explaining how he was explaining how oh the mannequin dude, I can't remember his name, but like he was explaining like how like his magic worked and just like the
Yeah,
whole and just like the idea like of what like of what a demon is in the show, and and I was like, this is giving me like alchemy vibes for some
yeah,
reason, like
I can for sure see that. Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna have to like rewatch it with that in mind, honestly. Like
yeah.
that's interesting.
And I mean like I'm ready to rewatch it with the Naruto thing in mind, because I mean like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there, but like I'm thinking about it even more now, like I just
And
I don't
that's the
know.
first thing I saw. It was so clear to me. I was like, okay, so they got Shisaguro, then they got Sasuke. Like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird because like my favorite Naruto character ever is Zabuza, and I can't tell you why it's Zabuza. But like I
Word.
like I just fuck with the design. I like his sword. I like the color contrast on how he
Yeah,
looks. So I'm just always yeah, cause like even going back to high school when like I would play the fighting games with the homies, like I would
yeah.
always choose Zabuza. He was
I
always
feel
the
that.
one that I went for. Like I couldn't tell you
I feel
why.
that character design, like, yeah,
Yeah, like Naruto is, before we move on, Naruto is something I've been meaning to like. Okay, I guess I gotta say this on record. I did not grow up liking Naruto.
really.
It was like the one anime that I was like, all my friends loved it. And like and like I'm talking about like when like Shippuden was like first starting to pop off, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like it was a thing. Like I loved, once again, like the character designs, like the way everyone looked, and like I loved playing the games. But I tried
yeah.
watching the show, and I was like, it's just not connecting with me for some reason. Like I like
That's
and
interesting.
yeah, and I just like never went back to try it.
Yeah, there is like
Yeah,
filler and stuff like that. Did that kill it for you? Like,
no, like I think it might have just been because I was young and I just wasn't really like which is weird, right? Because like it's Naruto and like they're all real, you know, like it should be the most relatable at that point. But like I don't know. I think I might have just been a contrarian at that point and was just trying to hate on something that everybody liked, and I just
I feel it.
like I just don't think I gave it a fair enough chance, you know?
I
And
was
that's
that
on
same
me.
way. Yeah, I was that same way with Attack on Titan until I sat down and watched it, and then I was like, okay, I get the hype. I was like, okay,
See, I
yeah,
want to see like I made it through the first couple seasons of Attack on Titan, loved it, and then I couldn't find the rest nowhere else. So I just stopped watching because I couldn't find it. It was at the point where they went on the hiatus, and then I was like, this is great. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
doing it, and then it just never happened. Same thing with JoJo's
yeah.
Bizarre Adventure. I
I
watched
feel you. Same.
I just made it through Diamond is Unbreakable maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and like
Yeah,
I mainlined that. Like I spent 2 weeks straight watching all like 48 episodes or whatever, and I was like, I need a break, I need to chill. But
yeah,
I was ready to hop into Golden Wind, but I was like, I need to give myself a break. I just like I've done too much JoJo at one time,
for sure,
and
for
now I'm ready
sure.
to hop back in. I'm gonna probably start Golden Wind at some point
Yeah,
soon.
I actually have to catch up with JoJo. I think I've only seen like the first season, like for real, and I just put it down. There's so much anime, bro. Like I feel like there's
Bro,
so much stuff that started and stopped, or like in the middle of. Like,
son, it's really just like I like you know, like all media is like that right now. Like music's like that, games are like that,
right?
movies like that. But
Yeah,
anime in particular, like there's always been so much, and it's just like, and it's just like everyone. Not to say everyone fucks with it now, because like a lot of people did, like back when we were younger. But like it's a lot more people like it now than they did. So
for
there's
sure. It's
definitely
way more
like
mainstream, for sure.
right, yeah, you know,
Yeah,
like the demand is starting to outpace the supply a little bit crazier than it used to. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. For sure. And then I'm also still always trying to watch old stuff too. So like trying to keep up
yeah,
with the new
man.
stuff. It's like, you know.
Oh, I'm happy you brought that up because that's something I've been struggling with too. Like how often do you struggle, like not even just with anime, but just like in general, like with just like wanting to listen to or play or watch or experience new shit, but wanting to go back and listen to old shit. Like, is that a thing you struggle with often? Because I struggle with it often.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'll say like with as far as anime goes, like my spot I stay in for real is really the 90s. Like I just like the aesthetic of it and the visual of it.
Same.
So I'm not always too pressed, but I feel like I always feel like I want to stay up on top of what's going on though, especially if I see a lot of people talking, like
Right.
Chainsaw Man. I was like, let me tap in. You know what I mean? Like you never want to be too far behind. That's like a
Yeah, totally not. Like I think like and you're like it isn't even like a pressure thing either, which is the interesting part because like there's so much dope shit out right now,
yeah.
and
It's
it's
you want
like
to just see it all, like you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, like yeah, like I'm just grateful that like I'm just grateful to not be burnt out on the shit. And like at the point where I feel like nothing's cool, like like even when I look at Jujutsu Kaisen and I see comparisons to Naruto and Full Metal Alchemist, I'm not
Yeah,
thinking like this is derivative. Like I'll just go back.
for sure.
Like I don't feel like like it's not. I can't believe I'm about to say this. It's not like I'm listening to like the Silk Sonic album and I'm like, let me just go listen to these Frankie Beverly and Maze albums instead. Like I'm like
Yeah,
I like appreciate what it is that.
yeah. Wait, is
Sorry,
that how you felt about the Silky? The Is that how you felt
kind of
about that album?
a little bit,
So,
a little bit.
I can understand. I can understand how you feel that way. I liked it though.
I feel it,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be a dick about it. I just feel like, like there's like I have my 4 songs on that album. It's Put on a Smile, After Last Night,
Yeah.
Smoking Out the Window,
Yeah.
and Leave the Door Open. Like
For
those four
sure.
songs are great,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like undeniable, but like the rest of the album, I'll just go listen to the old records, like
I get
that's
it.
just kind of
I
where
get
I'm
it for
at.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's what they were trying to encapsulate anyway. It's clearly
Right.
obvious, so.
Yeah, and that's
But
fine, like
yeah,
it's just but I say that to say that I don't get that feeling from watching Jujutsu Kaisen and seeing all like the building blocks, like
yeah,
I'm interested and invested and I want to keep at it. Like I
yeah,
don't
for
feel like
sure.
yeah.
I also feel like back in the day, there was like a lot of things as far as anime goes to where like maybe it wasn't the best thing to put it in there, I guess, or say, or like maybe certain, like
Hmm.
I feel like nowadays, like if they're attacking a certain storyline or something, they do it a lot cleaner or a lot better than they did back then. In some aspects, no, you know.
Right. Yeah, like the whole point is you should be wanting to like build on the shit that people started and like make it
Yeah,
better
for
if you
sure,
can, Like you don't
for
have to
sure.
recycle everything. Like nostalgia's great, but like you wanna like take what you learned and build something new with it, like you do with your shit. And like that's like
Appreciate that.
yeah, of course. So like now that we're in this space, like talk to me about the first movie experience you can remember having. It could be at the theater, your cousin house. You know the deal. Just
Yeah, yeah, for
first
sure.
movie experience.
Yeah, okay. So the first movie that I can like, or it's three that I think I can't remember which one was the first, but it was between like Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 24, by the way.
Got you.
So
I'm 30,
yes,
just so you know.
okay, yeah. So it was either the Spider-Man, the first one, or Shrek, or it was Max Keeble's Big Move. If you ever seen
Max
that,
Keeble's big
yeah,
move.
it
Damn.
was one of those three that was like my first. That I was like, yeah, like this is like, I feel like that Max Keeble that like affected my life so much. It made me want to like be remembered because he wanted to
Yo,
like go out so heavy.
right, bro.
Yeah,
Damn, you just unlocked a memory. I remember seeing Max Keeble's big move in the theater. There's
yeah,
like I don't remember nothing else about that movie except for this like there was this one part where like he like lied about some shit in the movie and like his two friends and their bully all
yeah,
realized that he lied about it and there's like 3 separate shots of them all going like Keeble and the bully just goes
yeah. I
like
remember that.
Keeble like that shit
Yo,
that
I
shit pops up in
love
my
that movie
dreams, bro.
actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch. Like, yeah, that's my shit.
Damn. Do you so okay? So now that we're here, because like, damn, that's such a specific. It's such a specific movie. I fuck with that. So do you remember seeing Max Keeble's Big Move, and like what was it about that movie that got you so much?
I think it was just that his energy, like and the fact that I don't know, he was so lit, I guess, like, and he was trying to, I get like there was the because he was about to move and all that, and he just
Yeah,
wanted to make like the biggest impact and all that, so everybody remembered him. And I
yeah,
feel like throughout my life, I always felt like that. But I seen that movie when I was so young, so maybe that had like a you know what I mean? Like so I feel like it
yeah.
really did now that I'm thinking about it. Like it really came from that. Like just oh, I want to make an impression on the world. Like
That's
even
so
though his
raw.
yeah. It's so random too. Like that. Like
Yeah, it's like and and like I'm thinking about it now, like that movie was basically like it was basically a Disney Channel movie they put in theaters,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
more or
yeah.
less. Like
Sure. And I was like 4, bro. Like I was like I don't remember how old I was actually, like 3 or 4. So it was super early for me,
yeah. I must have been like somewhere between like 8 and 10 years old,
Yeah.
like when that came out. And like I remember being so excited about it. Like, did you were you are you old enough? Do you remember Disney Adventure? The little zines they used to put out?
Uh, it that rang a bell. It rang a bell. I don't know if I fully am tapped
Okay.
in. You
So
said
for
Disney
any
Adventures?
Yeah, so for anybody listening, there is Disney had this small little magazine called Disney Adventures that was it was kind of like Nickelodeon magazine, except it was like it was like
Oh, I
it
remember this
it
now.
was like
Yeah, I'm
book
looking at
sized,
it.
yeah. And it came with like comics, and they did like interviews and like interviews and like articles about like movies and TV shows and all that shit they had
Yeah.
going on. Like it was like I remember seeing an ad for Max Keeble's Big Move in Disney Adventures and just being like, damn, like I don't know what it was about it, but I was just like I was ready to be in
He was
on
like,
it,
this gonna be that one. Like you
Right.
knew.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, Disney Adventure had a chokehold on me at like for a for like a longer time than it probably should have. I don't know why. I was just like really drawn to Disney as a kid. But
No, same. I was more of a Cartoon Network person, but I really enjoyed Disney for sure.
right. Yeah, yeah, nah, like of the three, I think Cartoon Network is my favorite too. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
think that just like damn. Like
Yeah. Legendary.
god
Legendary.
damn.
That's
Yeah,
like
so mm,
yeah,
um
we could go on a whole Cartoon Network thing, like just in itself. Like,
right. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, let's just go there for a quick sec. Like, what was it? Like, when did you do you remember the first time you kind of experienced that? And like, which is, I'm not gonna ask you what your favorite is because that's ridiculous. But like, but like, what was it about? What was it about Cartoon Network that kind of stuck to you? And obviously, you had a Toonami phase. Like, you
of
had to have had
course,
a Toonami
yeah,
phase.
that's what
Like,
started it all. Yeah, I
okay,
feel like that's what
cool,
started off for a lot of people, like around my
right.
age. Like, let me see. I feel like I liked it. I gravitated towards Cartoon Network more because it just felt a little bit more raw, like and put together instead of like a. I feel like a Nickelodeon felt super studio budget, like in Disney too. But like
Definitely.
Cartoon Network just felt raw. I don't know. Maybe that's why I gravitated towards it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like some
Hmm.
college students like this. You
Yeah,
know?
and that's like and that's so crazy because like most of those shows that we know and love were just like either made by college students or just like
Yeah.
or just like people who had no business being in animation and they just like wound up
Right.
there. Like the story I always think of is SpongeBob, the guy Steven Hillenburg who created SpongeBob, he was like a legit marine biologist. Like that was his job. And
That's
then
crazy.
and he was just like like I think he might have also been an animator, but like his whole thing was like he would use I think he like drew characters to help explain to his students like how marine
Oh,
biology worked. And then he was like, you know what, I could turn this into a show. And
that's
then
crazy.
I don't know how he wound up with the people, but like he linked up with most of the people who created SpongeBob were created Rocco's Modern Life, which makes all the
Oh,
sense in the world.
yeah, that
So
makes a
like
lot of sense, especially if you look at how those early episodes of SpongeBob looked. You know what I mean? That
mhm.
actually makes a lot of sense. I did not know that. That's crazy.
Like and yeah, like that was it, like that's why that show is like
You just
Like
kind of blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know that.
like I just learned that a couple years ago, and like somebody posted a TikTok. I know we're getting away from Cartoon Network. We're gonna get back, I promise. But like
No, we're all good.
somebody made a TikTok where they like they clanked two like crab legs together, and they make the sound of Mr. Krabs walking. You know, like the little
Yeah, yeah,
like
that's
that shit is real. They didn't just make that up for the show. Like that's
wait
how
for real.
crabs sound when they walk.
That's
Like
crazy. That's crazy. I need to see that TikTok. I did not know that.
I'm
Wait,
gonna find that for you. That shit, like that shit, really that shit blew my mind. That was a
yeah,
head
nah,
bust.
please
Like,
do
oh
because
my
I
god,
actually didn't know that either. Like, you put me on right now.
son. Like, but like it was just stuff like, but like even before you realize stuff like that, like shows like like what was it like? What was it about? I mean, okay, I guess I gotta ask, like, what were some of your favorite Cartoon Network shows coming up? Because I
For
feel like
sure.
that
Yeah.
says a lot about your
For
personality.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Ed and Nettie number one for me for some
Oh,
reason. I don't
come
know.
on.
Like this. I don't that I feel like that was the first show that actually made me laugh out loud. You know what I mean? Like literally like laugh. Like out loud instead of just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so Ed and Nettie for sure. Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
type vibes.
damn.
Courage the Cowardly Dog type vibes, you know. That's what I'm on. Like,
Damn. Oh, I love that shit. Like,
yeah.
like now that I'm thinking about Ed, Ed and Eddie, tell me if you remember the episode where there's an episode where they realize they're in a cartoon.
I think I slightly remember that joint actually. Yeah.
So there's like I don't remember the whole shit, but there's two moments in that episode that always stick out to me. There's one where one of them literally plucks the moon out the sky and
Yeah, I
like
remember
puts it
that one.
somewhere, and then one of them takes the outline surrounding Jimmy and just like
Yeah, yeah.
rips it
And then
off,
he
and he just
melts.
melts. like,
Yeah.
like that might have been
Yeah.
one of the first times I saw something that was like meta and like
Breaking the fourth wall.
self-referential, and exactly I was just
Yeah.
like I was like I had no frame of reference for fourth wall breaking. I was like a
Yeah,
kid,
for
so like
sure.
so
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like they know they're in the cartoon. Like what do
Yeah,
you
yeah. No,
mean? Like
that's hard. Yeah, thanks.
and like and like it's weird because like Ed, Ed and Eddie is such like a Ed, Ed and Eddie like takes place in a suburb. Like it takes place in like a cul-de-sac with like a bunch of kids just like running around with no parents. It's like really grounded and all over the place at once. It's so weird because like the animation
Thanks.
style is like so like
Yeah.
it's so janky and like
And I
like
just love
slanted and
how
just,
the
yeah.
grind that they had, like the level of grind, they was like about that money. They was not playing. Like,
All they wanted was jawbreakers too,
yeah,
bro.
jawbreakers. It wasn't even
All,
really about the money. Like it was just jawbreakers.
this nigga
Like,
Eddie would do anything to get $1, bro, and just get that jawbreaker. Like,
like I remember they built a whole city. Like some of these ideas that they were making, I'm like, nah, that's like you guys are onto something.
hmm
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever see the movie they made that was like the series finale?
It has something to do with like Ed's brother or Eddie's brother or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah.
yeah,
They went to
yeah,
some like amusement park or something like that. I think I slightly remember.
yeah. And his brother lives in the amusement park, and then I think
Yeah.
who was the kid who made Plank? I can't remember his name.
Johnny.
Johnny, right? So like Johnny
Yeah.
and Plank have like a moment where they like turn evil or something, and like I don't remember. All I remember is just being like it was so crazy to see Ed, Ed and Eddie just like end. Like that
Yeah,
felt like
not
a show that could
facts.
just go on forever.
For sure. Yeah. I couldn't even believe that was the end. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, really? Like, I don't know. Like they could I
Right.
wish they I would say I wish they would bring it back, but like maybe that should just stay what it is. You know what I mean? Because I feel
Yeah.
like it probably wouldn't, like the era has changed as far as like the Cartoon Network goes.
Yeah, yeah, especially with Cartoon Network Studios like
Yep.
dying last week.
Yeah.
I'm still
Exactly.
kind of, like they're like Cartoon Network's not dead, but like Cartoon Network Studios, like like Cartoon Network
Yeah.
Studios was like so foundational to that specific era
Exactly.
of the
For
Billy and
sure.
Mandy's and Courage the Cowardly Dog and Samurai Jack and all those shows.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
man,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
shit,
That's
bro.
most definitely an end of a very important era. Like, yeah. For
Man,
my
yeah,
life, for sure.
right. And like you have that, And oh man, did you like Cow and Chicken? Because a lot of people I know are not
I
big on
like
Cow
Cow and
and Chicken.
Chicken. It
I like
wasn't
Cow
my
and Chicken.
favorite, but I was rocking with it. I would watch it when it was on for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. I've been I've been
Cow
I've
and
been wanting them to
Chicken.
put Cow and Chicken and Johnny Bravo on HBO Max because like Courage and all that shit is on there,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
son, I just yeah, Cart
Cow and Chicken. I haven't even heard nobody say that in a minute. You kind of just threw me off with that. Like, dang, Cow and Chicken. That was a cartoon.
yeah. I really just I gravitated toward that like really weird shit. Like the really
Yeah,
like strange, like surreal, like the fucking like bro is literally the devil, but they just call him like the red guy. And
yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah.
it's like why is the devil in this show, you know? Like it's
Yeah, yeah. So
I just
you was a big fan of Courage too, for sure.
oh yeah, I love Courage.
Yeah,
Like
because
Courage was
Courage,
great.
bro, they went like that. Give me nightmares sometimes. Like
Yeah, man.
they would go far. I was like, oh snap, this is a kids show. Like,
Yo, there was one episode of Courage where like it was about this like crop duster pilot who came back as like a zombie or he was like 103 years old or something, and like he like turned everyone old. Like
where,
it's such a specific memory, but like it's kind of vague, and I don't know, but like Courage just like Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm gonna say this on the record. Courage the Cowardly Dog was like our Tales from the Crypt. You know, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like it gives me those kind of like just like episodic, like just like weird shit vibes, you
Yeah,
know,
you
like
never know what's gonna happen next type shit. You know it's gonna be some weird, creepy shit.
right, just like
Like,
between
like,
that and between that and like LeQuack and the Fox dude, like and
yeah, like,
just just like so freaky and like I don't know, like that shit just like you watch that as a kid, you probably have mental illness, like you know, like we're
I can't
all
believe they gave that to us for sure.
we didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
Son.
man.
But like, what about Toonami?
Mm.
Like when did Toonami first enter your life, and
Yeah,
what was that like for you?
it's really hard for me to remember the exact moment, honestly, because I really just grew up with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
let me think if I.
I mean, if you
Mm,
don't have a specific
yeah,
moment, you could even just talk about what it
it,
means to you.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's huge because like that's what really like. So there was like instances that got me into anime for sure, and like I remember like around watching Gundam and all that around that age, like Dragon Ball Z, of
Hmm.
course, like Naruto, of course. And then I remember I got to fourth grade and like I went to a private school, and for some reason, everybody at that private school was really into like manga and anime and stuff. And that's what really kind of set it off for me. That's when I started collecting manga and all this stuff. But like
Hmm.
Toonami, like the beginning, for sure, it was like the Dragon Ball Z, Naruto for sure. I'm trying to think what else there was. Did you ever watch Mayor? Do you know what that was?
Oh, bro, that kind of sounds familiar. Jog my memory real quick.
It was like this kid and he had like this weapon and it was like a ball and it was a talking weapon. Pretty sure it was on Toonami or like
Hmm.
early Toonami.
I don't think I remember that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that was a good one for sure though.
It sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
I just can't remember because cause like for a second I thought you were talking about Case Closed, and that's not
I
what
rock
Case
with that
Closed
too
is
though.
about.
Yeah,
Like
nah. I rock with case closed though. But yeah, Mayor, it was I don't even know how long it was on Toonami though, but I remember seeing that, and then I eventually started collecting the manga like later on in life.
hmm. Hmm. I'm looking I'm looking it up now. I don't
Yeah,
hmm.
it's
I can't
like
find it.
M A
Oh,
R.
okay,
Yeah,
got it. I I spelled it out like
yeah,
mayor. Like
yeah. It's spelled like Mar, but I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Mayor. I have no idea. I don't
got
know.
it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Marching Awakens Romance? Is that what
Yes.
that? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool, cool,
Of
cool.
course. Yeah, yeah. That was the joint. Yeah.
I've never heard of this. Nah. I've never
Really?
heard of this. Wow.
Yeah. That was on Toonami back in the day. I used to watch that. That was one of the first manga I started collecting too.
Wow. Okay. No, you just put me on.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
heard of that before. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good one.
one of the first Toonami. I mean, like outside of like the obvious answer, like Dragon Ball Z, like that raised all of us. But like the one I
Sure.
remember more than any was, I'm assuming you've seen Big O before, right?
I haven't seen it all, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure. That was the one for you?
Yeah, maybe not the one for me, but it's like the one that I always think of when I think of my time watching like Toonami and Adult Swim specifically
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
because like yeah, because like I never watched the whole thing either, but like I remember watching
Just
Big
seeing
O,
the yeah, for sure.
yeah, and just being like, because like I recognized that it wasn't like silly and crazy and like super duper colorful like all the other shit I would watch, but
Yeah,
I was just like, this is different somehow. Like
for
it felt
sure.
like the shit my parents were watching. And it kind of
Yeah,
made it feel like, oh, this looks kind of like classy and cool. But also I was like, I was also like, I don't know. Like it looks kind of cool, but like I wasn't young. I wasn't old enough to like really
fully
connect with it the
grasp
way I needed
everything.
to,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And like I haven't seen the whole thing, but everything I've seen ever since is like I love Big O. It's not one of my favorites, but it's like it was definitely like it was that and the first time I saw Akira, like
Oh,
that
yeah, for
kind of
sure.
like
For
you know,
sure.
like those two things are so, but I mean like Akira is also like very all over the place and not silly but like super duper
Yeah.
you know, like
It feels like super adult. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is
yeah.
not for kids. Like this is like, can you hear that dog? I'm sorry. It's like,
No, it's cool. It's cool.
okay.
But at the same time, like Akira is also like really colorful and like super inviting, and it's all about kids. So
Yeah.
like, so like it's easy to appreciate it just on that level, and just like thinking about how strange it is outside of the fact that it's a movie about the government experimenting on psychic children. You
Right.
know, like you
Yeah,
like I didn't
yeah.
realize that until I saw it in high school, and
For
like that
sure.
kind of
Yeah, same. And I really like how they do that too. Like as far as just you just hop in the world and there's like not that much context. It's kind of like figure it out. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta
yeah,
watch it a couple more times, maybe, you know what I mean? Like
it's
I feel like
lived
Cowboy
in.
Bebop is like that as well. You know?
Same, yeah. Like
So we
you
are
know, like
again here. Yeah, just
yeah,
in the
bro. It's like
universe.
a. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off.
No, you're all good.
I yeah, like that. Yeah, like I love that too. It feels lived in. Like the shit existed before you got there, and it will exist after
Exactly.
you're done watching. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's so fire. I love that too, because that makes me just like you know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
possibilities are endless. You know what I mean? As far as if they wanted to continue or something like that. You know what I mean?
right. And you're like Bebop is something that feels so singular,
Oh my
and just
god.
like like it's just like it's like I don't want to say it's perfect, but like it's kind of perfect. You
For
know, like
sure,
at
for sure. 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
just like
it's
yeah,
the perfect amount of episodes it needs to be. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like,
beautiful
yeah, for
ending.
sure. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just like the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
yeah, like
I'm so
I just
curious about that universe though. Like I feel like after you live in something, it's just like dang, you know?
right, like to be completely honest, instead of them doing the live action Netflix shit, I would have loved it if they had like done another animated version, but about like completely different characters set in the
Right.
same
A
universe.
hundred
That shit would have
percent.
been nuts.
Yeah.
Like
That would have been way like, yeah, for sure. And it's big enough and expansive enough of a universe to where you could do that. And it's not even referencing main characters at all. Like you could just be in a whole different spot. You know what I mean?
right,
That would have been cool
god
for
damn,
sure.
like
They
and
might, who knows?
man, I hope so. They gotta. I mean, I wasn't like completely down on the live action Bebop. I thought it
Yeah.
had
I
its.
actually didn't watch it honestly, because like I honestly usually steer clear from the live action joints
I feel you. Me
because
too.
I usually hear they trash. So.
Yeah, that
But
Full
if
Metal
there's any
Alchemist
good
one
ones
was
that you
fucking
know,
garbage.
yeah, oh word.
It was trash. Like I can't believe like they're still making more of it. It's kind of wild.
Oh,
But are there any good live action anime adaptations?
yeah, I think I seen Dragon Ball Evolution. I was like, I think I'm gonna stay away from these. I think I don't know.
that shit almost killed the Dragon Ball franchise. Like
But
Akira
for the
Toriyama
longest
was like,
time, yeah,
yo,
for the longest time, I was questioning if that was real because like nobody mentioned it afterwards. Like I was like, did I
mm-hmm.
dream that? Like was that a dream? like like it just went completely ghost afterwards. Like I heard nobody mention it.
Right, because because I think didn't that come out around the same time GT did?
Uh,
I mean, I can't remember.
I don't think so, actually. I think it came
Yeah.
out like I feel like Evolution came out like 2008, right? When did GT come out?
GT might have been let me see. Um GT was apparently 96.
Sheesh.
Okay. Yeah, no, so it had already been out for like a decade at that
Yeah,
point.
but like it had probably just hit like us, you know what I mean? Like
Right. Yeah,
closer to
definitely.
that time.
Because I was big on Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, and
For
that whole
sure.
game is about
Yeah.
GT. So
Yeah.
I just like, I mean, like, GT is not a great series at all, but I just love, like, I love Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Omega
For sure.
Shenron and
For
and
sure.
all and G, is Janemba a GT character, or did he just come from the movie that him and Gogeta are in? I can't remember anymore.
Uh I wish I could tell you. I feel like he is a I don't know. I don't Janemba. That he may have just been off the movie, actually.
Okay.
But that I don't want to
Okay.
say that because somebody might be like, I haven't seen GT in so long.
Yeah, me either, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those like, I watched Dragon Ball Z, but like GT, like, it's alright. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't stick around too much for it to dive into it.
totally. Yeah, yeah, no, he's just from the movie Fusion Reborn, so
Okay,
he
yeah,
has
yeah. I
nothing
was
to do
thinking
with
he was,
GT.
yeah, okay.
Um, oh, before we move on, did you see the new Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Superhero movie?
I actually haven't. I haven't actually. I need to. I was going to, but I got really caught up around the time. Is it still in theaters?
Yeah, nah, I don't think so.
I think, yeah. Shit, I need to like when it was in theaters. I was planning to watch it, but I just got so caught up. I was so busy.
I feel it. That shit was like, yeah, nah, me and my homie Kyle, shout out to Kyle. He and I went to go catch it maybe like a month and a half ago. That shit was crazy. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I might watch it today because I really need to see it. Like,
It's worth it, bro. Honestly, like,
yeah.
I was, like, it's been a while. Like, and it was the first time I'd seen a Dragon Ball movie in the theater before. So like so
Ooh.
it was kind of
Damn,
like a
I can't
savored
believe I
experience
missed that.
just off of
That's
that.
crazy.
It was tight, man.
That's
And it's
hard.
also it's the first one of the Dragon Ball movies to not be hand drawn animated. Like, they did it,
Yeah.
like, it's CG, but it still kind of looks, it's like cell shaded,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
seen like the trailer and stuff. So okay. So it doesn't like take away from it, you say?
I was surprised. I was kind of expecting it to, but
Yeah.
like, it looks hand drawn, but it looks hand drawn, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
cool. I appreciated it.
Yeah, that's hard. Okay. I gotta check it out for sure. I'm gonna watch it today probably. I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah, please do. Please
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So, you know, like obviously you have a very, very, very deep history with anime, but let's run over to music real quick. When did music first come into your life, and like when did that, like, yeah.
Yeah. Um it's always been a part of my life, I guess. I don't know if there's any specific moment. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a music head. I'll say this though, like me and my brother, I feel like this was like a big like thing as far as like I feel like me and my brother would always make up random songs,
Hmm.
just beating on the table like about like a random thing. And I feel like I've taken that throughout my life, you know what I mean? For sure.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, me and my sister used to do that type of shit too.
Yeah. That's even if I link with him now, we'll still do it. Just out of nowhere, just break out, bust it, but you know what I mean? Just freestyle.
That shit is so beautiful. When who were some of your favorite artists coming up? Like, who was
Okay, for sure.
yeah.
Like I'll say it varies so much, but like the stuff that had the biggest impact on me for sure, Earl Sweatshirt, a hundred
Come
percent,
on.
a
Yeah.
hundred percent, like no joke. MF Doom and stuff, knowledge. That's what I'm from. Like, like Mad Lib, of course, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like stuff like that. I don't know if you know who XXYYXX is. It's like
I
electronic
do.
music. Oh, you do?
I do
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
yeah.
that was a big influence for me as well. Stuff like that. I was like musically, I've kind of like dabbled. Like when I started making music, it was more like electronic, like upstep type stuff, like just
Hmm.
figuring stuff out. And then eventually, like but I listened to everything, so I was listening to a whole bunch of underground stuff, and then you know what I
Right.
mean. I was like, let me just make what I feel, you know. And that's kind
That's
of how
hard.
that came about. Yeah, for sure. Like
But
knowledge is probably the biggest influence as far as how I do my stuff, you know.
yeah, like I think we're finally at the I mean like we've kind of been there for a while, but I think we're like finally it's become undeniable that he's raised an entire generation of beat makers, bro. Like
Oh, for
knowledge
sure.
specifically.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
we all talk about Madlib because he's fucking Madlib, but like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but like knowledge has been that dude for like
yeah.
I was just thinking about when I first discovered knowledge because I mean like the first time I recognized that it was knowledge was the what's it called? The first time I recognized that it was knowledge was when why am I blanking right now? No Worries first came out with Suede, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Hard,
that
hard.
yeah, but like I realized that I had heard so many of his beats beforehand, you know?
Yeah, for
Like
sure. I feel like
eh,
if you're just an internet person in general, like you're just gonna stumble across some knowledge beats or something like that, or like a
right, man.
knowledge edit or something like that, you know?
You know, and you know like I went to I saw Earl do the I Don't Like Shit tour and No Worries open for
Yeah.
him. And you know
Yo,
and like but I missed the show. I'm so mad about it to this day.
yeah, it's so crazy you say that, bro, because my homie who put me on knowledge went to that show. He bought the Hood Dreams vinyl, and that's how I got put on the knowledge, bro.
That's
That's what
exactly what
happened.
happened to me, bro. Like
That's crazy. It
cuz
changed my whole life, though. That's the crazy, like just
yo,
that, you know what I mean? And I
honestly,
didn't even
like
go to the tour. He did it. He just brought back the vinyl, and he was like, "Yo, you know who Knowledge is?" Like, yeah,
yo, that's literally what happened to me because like I heard Suede and I realized that Knowledge had produced for a bunch of people that I liked at the time, like Homeboy
yeah,
Sandman and
yeah,
like a bunch of people, and
for
I was like,
sure.
oh
At that
shit.
time, I'm pretty. Yeah, he already had the Kendrick joint, right? At that time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mama had
Yeah,
already been out, and that was and of course that was like an older beat that he just like sold to Kendrick, and then
yeah,
they like
yeah.
prettied it up a bit, you know. But like,
Facts.
but yeah, like I bought the Hood Dreams vinyl at the show, and like I still have it
That's
in my crate right next to my foot, you know, like
hard.
and just like
What are the
hearing
odds?
like bro, Hood Dreams is easily one of my favorite albums of all time. Like I throw
That's
that
my
on to go to
favorite beat
sleep,
tape of
bro.
all time.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
all
like
time. Like I feel like when I make certain beat tapes, I'm just trying to make Hood Dreams, honestly. Because like, how did he do that? I don't know. Like, it's crazy for
right,
sure.
man. Like and oh man. Shit. Yeah, we could talk about knowledge all day, but like
Yeah, that's
bef-
who did it for me for sure. Like,
I
for
feel it.
sure.
And you know like you're one of the first people that I've talked to like interview wise that really said like I mean like it's obvious when you like listen to people and like I talk about it in like casual conversation, but like you're the first person
Yeah.
who's explicitly been like I was directly influenced by knowledge, so like that
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know like that does my
Yeah.
heart good just to see it because you know like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
he's a GOAT for sure. Like he
oh
like I feel like over time goes, I feel like now he should be in that status of just GOAT status. But like if people don't put him there already, but like
yeah.
he's most definitely going down in history as one of the craziest like to do this.
I think this
Like,
second No Worries album is gonna do it. I hope so.
oh yeah, I'm so
I hope
hyped.
so.
Yeah, crazy man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's gonna be nuts.
Yo, just like that. Yeah, it's we're not ready. I don't know yet. Yeah, we're not ready.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever heard the song by Earl and Knowledge called Balance?
Oh yeah, of course. That was a
Yeah,
that was an
that's
adult
the
swim
one that
single.
did it for me. Yeah, that's what did it for me. Like
Oh
that's like
really?
everything you see now and all that. That's when it started. It hit me so deep, and like like I was already making music and all that, but like that song specifically just hit me so deep at the time of what I was going through and all of that. It kind of manifested all of the, you know what I mean, the way I go about everything right now.
Damn. And it's like and okay, so I know you remember like the song's not long. It's like barely
Yeah,
two
it's like a
minutes.
minute and 17 seconds.
And like and like there was someone who looped it for like
Yeah,
5 minutes. There's like
yeah.
one YouTube video of the song.
I know
It's like a
exactly what
five
you're
minute
talking about.
extended cut.
I listen
Yeah,
to
you
that all
know,
the
like
time. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like when I was working my old job, bro, I literally used to throw that on for like 45 minutes at a time and just listen to it while I worked.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Yeah, I'm so glad that you know what I'm talking about because that was really the one, bro. Like that's what did it for me. Like everything people seeing right now, like it was that song hit me so deep, especially what I was going through at the time. I was like, I need to make music that make me like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like this. Like I feel,
right. Before we move on, what was going on at that time for you? Like, what
oh,
was?
well, let me
We don't
see.
have to
I
get too
had
deep if you don't want to,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
like,
No, it was I had just let me see. So I was just all over the place. I had I was 18 and I had moved to Orlando. I was in school over there, and I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, by the way.
gotcha.
Yeah, so I moved to Orlando for school. I went to Full Sail for a little bit, and it was just crazy because it really felt like me just hopping off the porch, just trying to like chase this music stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like yeah, it was craziness. I was going through like a breakup at the time, like leaving on my friend. It was like a whole bunch of drama and stuff going on.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was back and forth, and like my mom and all these, like they stayed in Atlanta, so I was back and forth to Atlanta to NC to just Orlando all the time. And like when I would just be alone and stuff, I would throw on I don't like shit a lot, and then balance specifically, like that was my one, and solace, of course. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready.
Like,
You gotta be, yeah. It was those, and I was just like that era, like combination, and it's crazy. Like, let me tell you a crazy story. And
please.
so I don't really, I make beats pretty fast. I don't really have a story like that many stories to behind that many of my beats, but the kick pattern in the Spoiled Brat, like off the Mobby album, I've had
Hmm.
that kick pattern in my head since 2016, and I just didn't make the. And it was from that era, though. You know what I mean? So the fact that I even got a
Wow.
face, but I usually I just make my beats like that, but that one specifically just happened to have a story, but disconnected by around that time of my life.
God damn. That's how you know it's a good idea, bro. Like
For sure.
you've had that shit in the
Yeah.
tuck for
It's just the
six
kick
fucking
pattern
years.
too. Like it's
Like,
just like yeah, that's the crazy part. It's just the kick pattern. It's not even like you know what I mean. Like yeah,
man,
that was
nah, like I don't want this to sound like too much of a stretch, but I've done that a couple times with like writing phrases too. It's so
mm.
weird because like there'll just be a thing. It's like it'll be like a metaphor, and I'll be like, oh, like this is cool, but I can't put this nowhere, you know.
Yeah,
And
for
then like
sure.
6 months later, I'll be like, it's time, and then I make it
Yeah,
work, you know.
right.
Like
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
that shit. And like back in the very, very, very brief time when I attempted to make music, I
Right.
I did that a couple times too. I don't have any of those files anymore, but like there were just like ideas that I would play with and then like leave for 6 months and come back and be like, let
Yeah,
me try to do this again. And it was,
for sure.
I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that. I get that.
Hey, I would be curious to hear some of your stuff though, for real. No cap.
Damn. Man, if I had any of it, I'd send it, but I don't. It was all like it was it was stuff that I would like make with my sister and me and my homie Zaire. Damn, shout out to Zig. I haven't seen Zig in a minute, but like he would come over and like I would try really I would make like the worst beats in the world for Zig and like it was a time, man. The early
Yeah.
2000s were a time.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like the first person who really I seen make beats was my brother because he downloaded FL Studio like
Hmm.
probably when he was in high school. I was in elementary school, so like it was like around that time. And then when I got in high school, I had a homie who was making beats and stuff like that, and that's how I got into it. Really, I was like, "Yo, can you teach me how to do that?" I'm like,
And then that was it. Yeah, no, my dad, my dad's a big tech dude, so he had Logic Pro, and he was just like he's been using Logic for like a decade, so he kind
yeah,
of showed me how to do things in Logic, and I picked up GarageBand, and GarageBand's pretty easy to use. So,
yeah,
it's all that. So
and
it's
it
just
is
kind of like
Logic adjacent too. So
right, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Um, but man, what else was I gonna ask? I just lost my train of thought. Um, okay, so you're growing up and all of this shit is happening at one time and like you're like slowly starting to get into music and like was there ever a time in your life before or after it could be whenever when like you realized that like music and film or anime specifically were like two things that complemented each other and like made each other stronger in a way?
yeah, yeah. I feel like I feel like anybody who is me or within my realm is gonna say Samurai Champloo.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
knew
I
you were gonna
mean?
say
Because like, how
that.
could you not? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that was a given for sure. Like that changed them. That's why the whole anime and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that
yeah,
changed my life, man. I'm
yeah,
so serious when I say that.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. That soundtrack is crazy.
Yeah, it was, and like for the longest time, I thought it was just New Habes, but it's him, Fat John, and Forces of Nature. Like Fat John's been one of my favorite producers of all time, just off of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like I went out and found a copy of. You ever hear his album 108 Stars before?
Uh, I don't remember it off rip, but let me see.
If not, I'm giving you homework. Go listen to 108 Stars.
Bet
It's
100% I
fucking
will.
incredible.
Yeah,
Like I went on some European record store and I found a copy of 108 Stars. Like that's how much I love
that's
Fat John. I
hard.
bought the shit and it's once again somewhere in my crate. I'm not gonna dig for it, but yeah,
Yeah,
just like that. And then on top of that, Fat John went and did he made the two Teflon Funk albums. Both of those are great.
yeah. Like,
And yeah, just like Samurai Champloo was just such a
yeah.
that was definitely the one.
Like
Like me and
we're
all my
still seeing
friends.
the aftermath of that. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
I'm a
yeah,
part of the aftermath of that. You know what I mean? And people in my, what I do.
right. I was just thinking about the fact that because I showed my partner Devilman Crybaby for the first time a couple weeks
Hmm.
ago, and like there's like the dudes who are like rapping in there. And the first thing I
Yeah,
thought, like we were just like watching that, and I was like, I just remembered there's a character, and I just wrote I was working on my Wu-Tang retrospective for Pitchfork at the
right.
time as well. So I was thinking about Killer B from Naruto. And
Yeah.
like like I was just like, there is literally a guy named Killer B in Naruto, and he's like a rapper, and
Yeah.
like I was like,
Yeah.
and like I just like that's another thing about Naruto that always stuck in my head. Like I was like, oh, Killer B, like like I
Yeah,
would play
yeah.
as him sometimes, like oh, it's Killer B,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I just like the proliferation of like I mean, like obviously a lot of people's fascination with like Asian culture started with that fusion that Wu Tang did, but like the
For
Samurai
sure.
Champloo shit, like
Yeah.
that did it for me, that did it for you,
Yeah,
like
for sure. And
that was.
honestly, just like on some universal aspect, it's just a continuation of like that, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
of the hip hop, you know what I mean? And the whole, I guess, Asian culture blend, you know what I mean? Because it's always been a thing for real. If you
Oh,
look at it,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, nah, bro. De La Soul had fucking oh, I don't want to mess up their nationality, but they had oh, they might have. Oh, they were either Japanese or Korean. I can't remember. But on Balloon Mind State, there's like one song that they give up to this like three man rap group. The only
Yeah.
words of English they rap for the whole like 3 minutes is yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop, and the whole rest
Yeah.
is in whatever language it's in. I can't remember. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. But yeah, like it's been there from the
That's
start.
hard. Yeah,
Like
facts. Facts. Literally. Like people calling themselves like grandmaster, like all that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
bruh, we stay, you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like one of the earliest rappers in existence is literally named Grandmaster Caz. Like, come on, like
Like,
that's.
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, for
um.
sure. And this is just the modern version of that for real. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
everything's kind of right now.
yeah. Nah. Absolutely. Um. And okay, so now we can formally get into like so like you go through all of this. You move from Fayetteville to go to Full Sail,
Yeah,
and you're going through all of this and you're starting to make music like for real. So like what was it what was it that kind of inspired you to turn rap from something that was more than just a hobby into something that like I want to do this, like this is my life.
yeah, that's funny. So I was in like I think I was 15 and I was in like biology class one time and I just realized that can't do it, right? Can't do it. That's all I wanted to do, music. Like all I wanted, I was like, can't do it. Like I'm just a music person for real. Like I'm Sue. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I had that realization to where it's like I don't want to do anything else. Like
right, totally.
and yeah, ever since then I've just been facing it. Like literally since then, I was just it was a distinct moment. Like I remember I was in class and I was like, can't do it. Yeah, like can't do this whole, whatever. Like I just want to do music.
So when did you first start dropping projects? Because the first project of yours I was able to find was from 2018. I don't know if that was
Yeah.
your first one, but
Yeah.
like,
So okay, so I'll kind of break down my journey within this because I feel like I have so much stuff out. It would be so hard for anybody. Like I feel like 2016 and all that. I really 2016, 2017. Like I told you, I was really inspired by like that balance. So I started making like a lot of piano. You know what I mean? Like kind of it
right,
would be considered like lo-fi. You know what I mean?
right, whatever
So
that means. But yeah,
yeah,
totally.
exactly, right? Yeah, so yeah. So I was doing that and I just started putting out I would say the end of 2017, I really just started kicking it up into high gear. And I just started dropping every single day. Like because at this point, all right, so I gotta give some context. So I dropped out of college and then I moved to Atlanta. And then I was just dropped out of college, didn't have anything to do. So I just started dropping every single day. And then one of the songs took off, And then from it kind of gave me a base to like, okay. And I just kept doing that over and over again. And that's really like all I've really done, if I'm being honest. Like I've dropped like projects and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I've worked with artists and stuff. I'll say the first person to reach out as far as like artists who I was just a fan of
Hmm.
was Chuck Strangers.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Chuck, bro.
yeah. And I did the beat for Past Due Balance for that, like the
Oh shit,
anyone.
that was you?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. I didn't even
yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
Shit.
he was the first person to just reach out and be like, and when he did that though, it just let me know like, okay, because at first I wasn't sure, like, I feel like they would just take me as like some lo-fi hip hop steady too. I wasn't sure, you know what I mean? But
Right.
when he kind of gave me that cosign, I was like, okay. And then honestly, from there, that's when like I feel like more people started tapping in. You know what I mean?
Right. And what year was that again?
That was like the end of 2020, and it was crazy because like I was literally the story behind that is so crazy to me. He don't even know. I feel like because I was literally listening to the Too Afraid to Dance EP, like and he's actually one of my favorites though, just in general. Like always been, you know what I mean? So it's so
Yeah, Chuck's
random.
hard, bro. For real.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Too Afraid to Dance EP, and I was thinking about like messaging him on like Instagram, like, yo, John Hard. And then I went to our DMs and I seen I had already messaged him that time. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I mean, so I just go to work and all that. On my lunch break, he follows me and then messages me like, yo, you're joint hard. Like your stuff's hard. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't even send the message. I just thought about it. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
just thought that was weird. And by the time I left work, we had the track. I was left work bumping the track. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I went to work bumping, you know what I mean? The EP.
Right.
Like,
And then you
yeah,
left work and he was bumping your shit. That's
yeah,
so crazy,
yeah,
bro.
and like, but
Wow.
we left with a track together. He did the track that night, so I let you know what I mean.
Mm-mm.
Like, I was like, what? Yeah,
Holy shit, that's so crazy.
yeah, yeah.
um,
I was like, he don't even. This that's like,
wow, man. Nah, he's gonna like I'm sure he's gonna hear this. So like that's nuts. Like I didn't know that either.
yeah.
Um,
But that really
Jesus.
kind of kicked off a lot of stuff for me. Like, they gave me a lot more confidence and stuff to just, and like Mavi, he'd been. I don't even really know how long he'd been tapped in for real, but he'd just been tapped in. You know what I mean? Because like
Mhm.
I've always kind of had like a wave going, I guess, or a
Right.
decent buzz. So yeah,
Yeah, mm, sorry. You gonna
Oh
say
no,
anything?
but I don't know if you have you heard None New? That was the first joint we did together.
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the first joint we did together. I just sent him like three beats just randomly. And I don't even know if we had talked. I knew he was tapped in, but I don't know if he talked that much. I think he just sent me that back.
Hmm.
So okay.
Damn. I actually want to bring it back a little bit because yesterday I was going through your shit, just because.
Yeah.
And the one that was really sticking with me was Just for a Moment, which is your first
Ooh.
project. It's up on your first shit up on Spotify.
Yeah,
So like I
yeah,
see like it's short, so I ran it a couple times,
yeah,
and like like it was like especially compared to stuff like Past Due Balance and None New and like
yeah,
the shit on the Mavi album, like it's really um it's very much more in line with something that you would hear on like the Lo-Fi Girl channel. I
Yeah, for
literally
sure.
fall asleep to that shit. Like every single night, I put it on
Yeah.
YouTube on my TV, and that puts me to sleep. Like
Yeah, word. Yeah, yeah.
it's amazing. But like I'm curious because like since that's the first project of yours that I was able to find, like, and it seems like that one kind of got you just like some general looks, and they just kind of
For
like
sure.
popped anyway. So like talk to me about putting Just for a Moment together, and like what that did for you, and like how it felt to kind of have that out
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah, so that one was so crazy. Like the reason I called it Just for a Moment, I felt like for the first time in my life, like so I felt like going through life, I always felt like I never appreciated the moment. Like I would be kind of depressed in the moment, and then I would get to another stage in life, and then I'd like, dang, it wasn't that bad. I kind of missed that. You know what I mean? Like I felt
Yeah.
like I always had those moments, but when I was making this specifically, I kind of realized I was like happy. Like I was genuinely happy. Like but a lot was going on too, because like it started off like that. It was a lot. Because like I had a home. The last track of that is actually a like dedication to my homie who like got shot around that time.
Oh man, I'm
That that,
sorry.
that last that last snippet was like a little like vocal thing from the last time I seen him and all that. So it was a lot of stuff going on around that time. And but I'll say this: a big inspiration from it was a Playboy Cardi, like big inspiration. Just because
The self-titled?
I think it was like Dial-It, honestly. It was
Okay.
Dial-It. And what it was just I feel like his music just sounds so like high end. So, like, you know what I mean? Like high and I was like, yo, I want to make some like my status, but like, you know, like my kind of music, but kind of like on some like I could sell this for $1 million kind of sound. You know what I mean? Like as far as
Yeah.
aesthetic of it, I wanted it to sound like very high end fashion kind of in a way. You know what I mean?
No, I get that because Just for a Moment does sound very, you know like there's none of like the cliche like grain or vinyl crackle on it. Like it's like you're making beats, but they do sound very like they do sound very clean,
Yeah, I
and
wanted
like
to sound like something you could just like be in a museum, be like, like you know what I mean, type.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that, and like it's like a like I got that because a thing I love to do, especially with like new music that I've never heard before, is like I'll throw on a game that doesn't require sound and just listen to music while I play it. I do that
right,
all the time. It's either gonna be like Call of Duty or like Overwatch or like Fall Guys or something
yeah, yeah,
like something that
for
doesn't
sure.
require a bunch of attention. And
Yeah,
then I just like and like listening to Just for a Moment and Feelings and Crazy Sensations.
ooh.
Those
See,
like
it's
those
crazy you say that because that's like what in my head that's the sequel. You know what I mean?
really
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Why do you say that? Why do you feel like it's the sequel?
That's just how going into it, I kind of wanted to do like that's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? I was kind of in a similar headspace as far as sound wise. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, you know,
Right.
yeah,
S-
it feels like a sequel too to me just in listening to
Now that you say that, I can see it. Like I'm like now I want to go back and listen to the two of them back to back and like
it.
really sit with that. Um, but now because I'm curious, like, has your production style changed at all over the course of the last like 6 years? Like, how did you
Oh yeah,
start and where are you now? Like
yeah.
with that.
Honestly, like I do everything, and people just don't know. I'm really like Mad Lib in that sense, to where I just dabble everywhere. People have their things that they gravitate towards, and you know, I guess to make it look a certain way, but really I'm touching everything. Like I just posted a trap snippet today, you know what I mean? Some stuff I made.
Hmm.
Just, you know what I mean? Like I just be making music for real. Like I don't like
Yeah.
I feel like if you put a box on it, it get kind of hard to even make music. You know what I mean? So you kind of
Oh, absolutely.
just gotta let it flow. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I'm gonna make, you know.
See, I love that you think like that because I was just thinking, funny enough, it was from a interview that Mavi did. Um, like he was just like talking about the notion, and he was that talking about the idea of like mumble rap, quote unquote, and just like what just like the fact that like rap taught so many of us how to make money and like helped us get out of
For
situations,
sure.
and like that's like all types of rap, you know, like it's
For
not even
sure.
like I had to, I feel like I like I think I tweeted this. I was just like, you would like so many people who kind of fit into that. The type of person who would call somebody a mumble rapper typically has no idea that their favorite people, whether they be somebody like you or somebody like a Mavi or a Fly Anakin, like these dudes listen to all that shit that you're bashing, you know,
100%,
like
right?
it,
I
like
feel like
you know,
if you, yeah,
you're talking about Playboy Cardi and shit, like
exactly.
it's,
You wouldn't be able to tell Playboy Cardi inspired that, you know what I mean?
you know,
Like
like
people, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's why
for
that shit's
sure.
so funny to me because it's just like,
I
bro,
feel like if
like
you're an artist, you just know art. You're listening from a different. I don't know. Like you can appreciate art from all aspects. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
For sure.
You know, like yeah, you know, like I was reading I don't know if you're familiar with Quinn. Um oh, I forget where she's from, but she kind of like I don't know exactly how to describe Quinn's music, but she's dope. She's like 18, I think.
Word.
And like she makes stuff that was kind of like hyper pop adjacent at one point, but is also like really like she dabbles in like electronica and like rap and a bunch of like ambient shit. She does everything. And
Yeah.
like I read an interview that she did and she was talking about how like the only music that she listens to is like Ka and like Dead Prez and
That's
like
hard.
fucking like Earl and shit. And like you would probably, I mean, like maybe you'd guess Earl, but like you go and listen to her shit, and like you're like you wouldn't guess that somebody like that was listening to like X Clan, you know?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah, that's
you,
hard. I love that though. And that's you know what I mean? Because you can just appreciate art from all aspects, whether that's what you do or not. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or like within the realm, you know what I'm saying? Or like even if you don't, your lifestyle isn't even connected to that, you can still appreciate it. You know what I mean?
right. And you know, like that's and you know, like that aspect to me is sometimes a double-edged sword because obviously it leads to people kind of like trying to lead lives that they don't really lead. But
For sure.
obviously that's a completely different thing. You know, like you know, like there's like you know, like there are so many people, like yourself included, and me too, like just
Yeah.
that get inspired by things that you would never expect, and like the shit just comes out the way we do it because we did it. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure. For
like that's
sure,
what makes
right?
art so beautiful, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's I just love that. It's just like
Yeah,
that's
not
why
same.
like listening to people like Quinn and people like Mavi and people like you and people like Red Veil, who I've been screaming about that Red Veil album all
Yeah,
year. That shit's
so good.
incredible.
So
You
good,
know,
bro.
like
Yeah.
just like I think about it with Red Veil specifically because there's a moment on Home from the new album where he mentions Young Dolph. It's a real quick reference, but it's
Yeah.
like you would never, you know, you hear the music that he makes and you would never expect him to drop a Young Dolph line in a song.
Yeah.
And like that's dope to me. I'm like I had the opportunity to tell him like, yo, like I never would have pegged you as a Dolph fan, but like that's dope because I'm a huge Young Dolph fan. I was before he passed, rest in peace. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
He's dope.
you just like you just never like you said, you just never know
Yeah.
where the inspiration is gonna come from, and that shit is beautiful.
Yo, did you hear that new Earl verse on that what's that
The
song?
Atlanta shit or no?
Nah, it's whose song is it? I'm about to look it up real quick because this shit I feel like nobody would have expected Earl to hop on nothing like this. It's called
Shit,
Bad Fruit. Have you heard it?
no. What?
By
Who?
Gene Dons. So you actually absolutely have to hear this. That's crazy you haven't heard it. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Bro,
fuck. I still haven't listened to the Gene Dawson project. I've been meaning
bro,
to too.
yeah, bro, is he on his auto tune? Like it's hard. It's hard. It's so hard. But it's like you know what I mean. It's kind of what
Damn.
you said on some like unexpected. You know what I mean?
And you know, like you could even say the same thing about I've been listening to his song that he has with Greedo and Draco a lot
Oh
too.
yeah,
And just like
yeah,
how he took off on that, you know,
yeah.
like
I love that joint.
yeah,
Facts. Yeah, that's
shit.
another one too. Like, yeah, I feel like especially somebody like Earl. I feel like a lot of the new generation, just in general, it's like the boundaries of music just don't really exist because we grew up off everything. You know what I mean? Like I was
Right.
listening to like System of a Down and all that too, like Nirvana and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Daft Punk,
Same here, bro.
Gorillas, all that. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. But it seems like everybody I talk to around my age kind of like, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Always listen to all that.
Yeah, and you know, like I think that's great to me, you know, like and it's like and it's like so many people like recognize that you can just like take from place. I mean, like that's like what rap was built on, you know, like
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
old shit and making it new.
for
And
sure.
I think, you know, like to me, that makes it like that's what makes hip hop the most like adaptable and probably like the sturdiest form of American music maybe ever made
For
to me.
sure.
You know, like
Honestly, that's probably why it hasn't fell off. You know what I mean? Because it's so it can't. It's gonna. You know what I mean? Like it can like mold itself into every which way the culture goes. I guess you know what I mean?
right. Yeah, it's fluid, you know, like
Yeah, for sure.
it's just it takes on the shape of whatever container it falls into on some Bruce Lee shit,
For
you know?
sure. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Damn. And like so you know, like after you make just a moment, just for a moment, and you know, you know, you said you started dropping music like every day at one point.
Yeah,
Like when was, you know, like before Chuck and Mavi reached out to you and you were doing this on your own, when
yeah.
did you first notice that shit was starting to move in a great direction for you?
Okay, so it was a couple of different instances. So before before I dropped just for a moment, I was doing the whole just dropping just beats, and then one of them took off. A lot of the at that time, the lo-fi hip hop radio type stuff, it was like pretty rocking with me. So like they
Right.
would throw my stuff in their playlists and stuff like that. So it was a nice little boost. And then I dropped just for a moment. And for some reason that kind of just went up. I didn't do any like promotion or anything behind it. I just threw it up on Spotify and it just kind of started doing, decent. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. And then but from that moment, I felt like I had to pivot a little bit because if you like the next project I dropped was I think it's called like Trippy Jukebox and it's like super it don't sound nothing like just for a moment and it's because I didn't want to get like pigeonholed to like the quote unquote lo-fi
Right.
sound, you know what I mean, like because I'm just on some beathead shit in general, you know what I mean, so
Right.
yeah, so I did that, you know what I mean, but I'll say 2020 is when it really I'll say 2020 is when my Instagram spiked for real. It was during COVID, you know what I mean, like I was just doing
Yeah.
my thing and it just for sure. Yeah.
And that was going to be my next question because obviously like, you know, your IG is full of beats over anime clips.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
for sure.
you know, like what led you to do that? Because like obviously these are two things that you've loved your whole life. Like
Yeah,
when did you
yeah.
decide to put them together?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted I wanted to be so consistent. And I was just like, what's a way I can be consistent? Like and just showing my music to people. You know what I mean? Like and I was like anime. And I was watching I think I was binging Inuyasha at that time, like
Mm-hmm.
pretty heavy. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just dub these. But I was doing that like 2018 and all that. It just happened to really catch wind like 2020. And then,
Right.
yeah, so yeah, if you scroll down like before the views and all that got big, like I was still doing it just every
Right.
day
Yeah.
too. Yeah, like
I
every day.
went and tried to scroll down as far as I could
It's a
last
lot.
night. It's but like I wanted to find the end and I couldn't. And I was like, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great, you know,
No,
like
it's a
because I
lot. It's a lot. And it's all, you know what I mean? It's a lot of content, a lot of beats. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. And you're like and like I love the consistency. I can't remember the first one of your beats. I can't remember the first video of yours I saw, but like I remember seeing your shit around and just being like, this is dope. Like this is tight.
Yeah.
And you know, like then when you like reached out, I was like, damn,
Oh
like
yeah. I was already
that's
tapped in, bro. Yeah, for
that's
sure.
so you know, like I was like honored because I'm like, damn, like I love what you do. So that was just like that did my heart so good, you know, like
I appreciate that, man, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nah, of
Nah, I
course.
love what you do, man. This is fire. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
I'm finally able to do one with you.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm sorry
Yeah,
it
I
took so
knew it was gonna
long.
anime out it too for a little bit, so I was like, yeah, I'm hyped for that. You know what I mean?
Beautiful, man. Nah, like yeah, nah, like I said, this has been in the works for at least a couple months.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm happy we could finally make it happen. And like I guess to kind of wrap this up, like I do want to touch on your work on the Mavi album.
Oh
So like
yeah,
so you know like talk to me about like talk to me about those four beats. Or is it four or five?
it's four. It's four.
I I thought
Yeah, on
so.
the
So it's
album. Yeah.
right because it's High John. The second one I can't remember.
Yes. Spoiled brat. Yeah.
Spoiled Brat. There we go. We did Quiet on Set
Yeah.
and it's
Known
One Near the End.
unknowns.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like talk to me about those four and like did you make those specifically for him or like did you like send him a pack? Like what happened there?
So I'll say, let me think. Honestly, it was so random, really. I think I just sent him a pack. Yeah, I think I just was sending him beats and all that. You know what I mean? I think this is after we did None New and all that. He had just got off tour, and I just started sending him beats. And I think the first joints I'm trying to remember the first one he sent me. I think it was like I think it was Quiet on Set. I think that was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't actually make that beat for him. Like I had that beat a year, like had that beat for a year, and I had the Spoiled Brat beat for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, the most recent beat I probably made was the Known Unknowns joint. I think I made that in February, and then the intro I made that January, I think. But and we worked on that together too. I pulled up with that one. It took a minute too. We did a lot for that. Yeah, like that. I'll say the intro that's the most I ever like edited for sure. You know
Right. And like
what I mean?
and and just like I love the way High John sounds, you know, like
Oh, I
it's
appreciate it. And that means so much to me because like that's literally like my sound. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like that's like my signature sound, you know, because I can do a lot of things. So for that to be like the first one, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, beautiful opportunity to like have that open the album, you know, like for like this
Yeah.
artist that's already been going so crazy for the last 3 years, and like the album was so and you know like Shango got
Yeah,
shelved, and you know like
for
it was
sure. Yeah,
like
I'm
there
surprised.
was
I'm pretty sure he's made a couple albums since like you know what I mean, Let the Sun Talk. So
yeah
I'm surprised that I was yeah, I was surprised with the Chuck thing too, like that these songs actually came out. You know what I mean? Like
like
and got
that
videos for him, you know? Like, I'm like,
like
okay.
they fuck with your shit, bro, because it's good, you know,
Yeah.
like that
No,
that's
most
like
def yeah, he's most definitely like showed me crazy love. He already know what I'm trying to do. Like Mobby, like on some I'm trying to be on some alchemist type stuff, but like in my wave, you know what I mean, how I'm doing it. But like just,
right,
you know what I mean, take it to that level. And so the
you
fact that he
know.
had alchemist in the video, I found that out when the video dropped. I didn't know.
Wow.
I was like, what? Yeah.
Yo. And like the thing I love about High John so much is that like it's so lush. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it really does sound like you played every single thing and then arranged it yourself on like how Madlib did it with why am I forgetting Shades of Blue. You know how
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like I don't think you did that, but like
I
it sounds
mean,
like you did
I'm,
that, you know, like
I'm pretty sure that the keys was played by Chris Keys. You know
hey,
who
shout
that
out
is?
to
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Keys, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it took a minute of arranging for sure. You know what I mean? Like, but as far as like the drums go and like this, you know, that's just how I do my stuff in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'll say this, like Mavi is very like particular. You know what I mean? So it's like hide down those hi hats a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of things like that. You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you know like I'm happy you use the word arranging, because like that's what production is, you know, like you're like
100%.
like you're utilizing these sounds, but like you're arranging them, like you're turning them into this new form. It's not like
Yeah.
you're just like copying somebody and just like this is the song, you know, like you're either
Facts. Facts.
you're taking these disparate pieces and putting them together in a completely different context, or you're isolating something and just being like listen to this 3 second thing and just
Yes.
like like it's like like you're like an archivist, or just like a that's just so dope to me, like I just love to see shit get recontextualized, and like that type of shit like breaks your brain, and like you just look at the
Nah, for
world different
sure.
after
Yeah,
you
that
start doing that.
that's the dope thing about sampling though, because like you could turn anything into anything, and people in
Hmm.
like you know what I mean. Like you can, yeah, it's fire. Like to just be able to manipulate things in such a way.
Right. And just like and like if you like if you had to pick a favorite of the four beats that you have on Laughing So Hard It Hurts, which of
Yeah,
those would be your favorite?
dang, that's a good question. I never. How let me think. Maybe like Quiet on Set, just because how hard it hits. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When we linked, uh, it was like Kill Switch Day. He did the show in Charlotte, and
Right.
he performed that before it dropped. And the way that it was knocking in there, I was like, oh, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? I was like, this joint go, you know?
Oh right, and I just remember y'all both from North Carolina. You mentioned that way
Yeah,
earlier. I just clicked in
yeah.
my brain again. Damn, so that's even more special.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure, 100%. Yeah,
Damn. Wow. It's just like
yeah. He from Charlotte, I'm from Fayetteville. You know what I mean?
right. I just
Yeah,
like not to dig too much into it, but I just love everything that's coming out of North Carolina right now. Like there's so many of y'all between Mavi and Kill Switch, and like I just had
yeah.
Messiah on not too long
Oh yeah,
ago, and
I
just
love
like
that one too. Yeah.
thank you.
Oh yeah,
And
me and
just like
Masai got some stuff too. That's fire.
hey, I'm ready for that. Like,
Sure.
like between like what y'all got going on and like Tia Kareen and my bro
Yeah,
OG Spliff and just like just there's so many dope
yeah.
people just
But
coming out
I'm
of North
hyped, and
Carolina right now.
it's about to go even crazier. Honestly, like I got some homies that like are insane. Like that, I'm
Damn,
gonna send
dude.
you some stuff after this, bro. I think you're gonna
Please,
rock with it
man.
heavy. I think you're gonna rock with it heavy.
I'm
For
so
sure.
ready. Like,
That's like my goal. What I'm really trying to do. You know what I mean? I feel like as far as Fayetteville goes, there's the scene. It's been hard for the Fayetteville scene to break into like I guess the scene in general, and I'm trying to be like the bridge to kind of get my homies in this. You know what I mean?
right. Nah.
Yeah.
I love to hear
Nah,
that, especially because like, like Cole's from Fayetteville and like he's
exactly.
like, and it's just like like as beautiful as that is, like as beautiful as it is to have him put on for y'all city,
Yeah.
like like he's fucking J. Cole. He's one of the biggest rappers in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like how do you cut through that noise?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
That's
I can only
yeah
imagine. Like
for sure.
especially considering that he's like the first to break out of there, Like
Yeah. 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 Nuts. Honestly. I don't know how he like, that's crazy that he even was able to make it at the time he did. You know what I mean?
right. But I say that to say that, like he set it up, and as difficult as it might be to like break, like break through whatever breakthrough means in your case, just like you've been building your own thing these last 6 years, and
Yeah, for sure.
like it's culminated in looks from Mavi and Chuck Strangers and
Yeah,
whoever
yeah,
else, like all like the lo-fi people at the
yeah.
time, like all that shit. And
I'm
like,
pretty good friends with an ugly guy too. He's a dope homie.
a
Mind you.
shout out shout out to
He's
Ugly
tapped
God.
in. Yeah. He's
Shit,
hilarious.
I haven't thought about Ugly God in a long ass time. That's crazy.
He's so funny, bro. Yeah, he makes beats too. Like we got like tracks together and stuff.
That's
Like
fire.
yeah,
That's so
like we got
cool.
like beats that are out too. I'll send you some.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Um, but like I guess like just to like really wrap this up before I get to the last question, like what was or not what was, like you're at this point now where you're on, like you have four beats on an album that just got named Best New Music on Pitchfork.
Crazy.
Obviously that's not like there's obviously more to life than
Yeah.
just that. But like seeing that last night really did my heart. So like I got so excited because I didn't know what they were gonna rate it, and I worked there. So like I didn't know what they were
Yeah,
gonna rate it,
yeah.
and when I saw the Best New Music, I was like,
Yeah, I
damn,
couldn't believe it.
finally
I'm not
got it.
gonna lie. Like I
Like
was like, word.
yeah,
And like
like
this, like I've been doing things pretty, but this is a level that I haven't been at before as far as that.
yeah,
So that
like
felt nice.
and like you did that on your own, like you built this shit brick by brick on your own shit. So
Yeah, for
like
sure.
so like looking back on all you've accomplished over the course of the last 6 years and all the things you want to accomplish however long down the road, like what uh what are you most proud of that you've done over the course of the last 6 years?
Hmm. I never even thought about that. Let me think though.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you said the most proud of.
Yeah, just like it doesn't even have to be like a specifically music thing. It could
Yeah,
just be like it could be whatever, just like whatever is like that changed something. I don't know.
yeah. Honestly, if I'm talking about like the most proud of like out of this whole thing, it's probably gonna be the Mavi album for real because I feel like that was a long time coming. And the thing about him is I've been tapped in with him like as far as just before like Earl and all that. You know what I mean? Like just
Right, yeah.
like I was bumping like that whole scene like Overcast. I was bumping him like 2016. You know what I mean? Like in high. You know what I mean? So like to be with it feels good. You know what I mean? It's like wow.
Yeah, like that's like, yeah, like you came up on that, and to like see them, to see
Yeah,
them
for
kind
sure.
of, like break in a way, and to be not just to see them break, but to like be involved in any way, like because like
Yeah.
I can't, like I can't even front. Like I came into Mavi right before, like I heard about Mavi right before like Earl and all of them figured out
Mm,
who he was.
yeah.
And like, cause like I had heard a couple like SoundCloud Lucy's, and like I'm homies with like Pink Sifu and all of them. And
Yeah.
like he linked us, and like Mavi and I talked on Twitter a little bit, and then we met at the show that it was Sifu, Anakin, and Maxo. They did this
Word.
big thing in Brooklyn. It was gorgeous. One of the coolest things I've ever been to in my life. But
Hard.
like, like just to like like speaking from my slightly newer experience, like it really has been beautiful to see that section of rap really just like blossom into something that's caught the attention of people like Alchemist, and people like
Yeah.
yeah, like that's just like
It's amazing. Because I feel like I'm just now having my moment to where I'm about to step into whatever, but like I've been watching this thing the whole time. Like, you know what I
right,
mean?
man.
Literally. Like, yeah.
I love
It's
that for you.
it's
Like
amazing.
that's so exciting to me, just because like I can tell your passion, like like it was there before all of this shit happened,
Oh yeah, for
and like
sure. For
and
sure.
seeing you come up off the clips and everything. I've just been like, like it's just dope to see you kind of really step into that and just like have your moment,
I
like
appreciate that, man. And
yeah, man.
I've like I've known this is gonna happen for months, so I've been planning on capitalizing. Like I already got stuff lined up. It's gonna go crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. Damn. And like my very last question for you is Morpheus Wolf, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
What would it be about? It would be about like damn. I guess like just understanding self, I guess. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what I'm constantly trying to do, just understand myself, understand the world, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know that's that was the first thing that came to my head.
That's a good answer, like because like like I don't want to get too cliche, but life is a learning experience. We're always students. No one ever, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but yeah, like that's a good answer. Like that's like I've been thinking a lot about Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai for some reason. I don't know if you've seen
Mm,
Ghost Dog.
no, I haven't actually.
It's really good. It's the first movie RZA ever scored. Um
Word. Shit.
Forrest Whitaker's in it. I think a
I have
guy,
to peep.
I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Jarmusch, but he's a cool film director who makes fun
Word.
stuff. Or fun's the wrong word. He doesn't make fun movies, but I have fun watching them. But like I don't know why. Like Ghost Dog is just very like ruminative in that way, and like introspective, and just like a watch that movie and get back to me because I'm very
I got
interested.
you
Yeah,
for
because like
sure. Well, what's it on? You know?
uh, it might be on HBO Max. I'm pretty sure, but
But
real quick shit. It's like he's a Forrest Whitaker is a hitman who lives by the Bushido code, but he works for the mafia who doesn't abide by the Bushido code. So like the
yeah,
whole movie is just like you're just watching this guy like attempt to rationalize killing people
damn.
by this specific code while he works for people who don't fuck with that
Yeah,
code. And
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's like I watched it again recently, and it's
Wow.
just just like the idea of understanding self. It's like a perverted, twisted version of understanding self. But that's where my mind went when you said that. Like
Damn.
just
No,
like
I mean, honestly, off of you just saying, I have to watch this movie now. But like, yeah, like I felt that. I felt that for sure. Even just like trying to understand yourself within a society that doesn't necessarily like, you know what I mean? Things. It feels like things are kind of against you in some ways. You know what I mean?
yep,
Just trying to understand yourself in that. You know, I felt that for sure.
absolutely, bro. Man, Wolf, this was so like thank you, bro. Wow.
Yeah,
Like
thank
this is
you,
this
bro.
is
I'm a fan. I've been a fan for like, you know what I mean? Like a minute, like for real. Before you knew who I was, you know what I mean? For
man,
sure. You know what I mean?
Jesus
So I
Christ, bro.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Nah, like
Yeah.
that no, like that means the world to me. Just like I just wanna do good here and just like
Bro, you
put
killing
on
it,
for
bro.
good people. No,
You
you
killing
too,
it.
son. Stop it. Like I just like yeah, like I really can't because like I got the album like early-ish. Like, I mean, you had it way before I did, but like getting the chance to hear it some kind of early and just like see your name in the credits, I was just like, damn, son, like really?
I
Like,
appreciate that, man. Yeah,
nah,
no, that means a
man.
lot.
Like it really just makes me so happy to see like talented fucking like passionate people doing their shit. Like talented black people doing their shit.
For
So just
sure.
like
Yeah.
thank you, bro. Like I don't know. Like it just
I appreciate you, man. That ass means a lot. Like for real, man.
nah, bro. And yeah, like this is just the beginning. Like I already know it is.
Yeah, yeah. I've been plotting, bro. I've been plotting for years. So yeah, we better get started.
Come on, son. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.